All right, last video here. We have a real stanker. We got Kevin projected to score 100 versus Tam projected to score 105. I was just talking about how Andy Dalton. I'm like, oh, who's his bye-week quarterback? Why is Dalton in? And Dalton is your starter. That sucks. I know he was really good last week, but we all know.
Well, he traded Rodgers away.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he traded him to Derek.
I don't think he had Rodgers. I think Faye traded to get.
Honestly, you know what's the most comical thing about what's going on right here is when you look at Belichick's little picture, he's got rings on there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not good. Hey, so first matchup, Dalton, who just had a bounce back at Houston, which is a really good defense, versus Breeze on Monday night at home. Gotta go Breeze.
Yep, Breeze. Even Yahoo has him by 6 points.
All right, then Baldwin, a Seattle wide receiver, versus Arizona. They're at home. Baldwin is the number one guy there, which is pathetic.
Josh Gordon.
Versus Josh Gordon. So, I fucking hate Tam for having Josh Gordon because I took a huge risk and dropped him in the 7th round. And they said he's gone for a whole year, so I dropped him. And now he's back, and it's the playoff time. It's exactly the circumstance under which I wanted him for. So I fucking hope he has a bad game. But last year, when Gordon came back from his 4-game suspension, he got targeted 19 times in the first game back.
Yeah, that's a lot of times.
That's a lot of targets, dude. I expect more of the same. I think even though Gordon hasn't played with the team at all, he's playing away at a terrible team indoors, and Baldwin sucks. Gordon for the win.
Well, I like what Baldwin has done the last few games, but I don't care. Gordon was a beast last year.
Yep.
19 targets when he came back.
Super healthy right now.
This is exactly what that quarterback needs and that team needs. He's got Crowell and West running their young guns, and he's got the quarterbacks who's going to throw it to him. So that team's kind of, I don't know, that team's heading in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. And plus, he likes Schweed.
Yep. Plus, Baldwin is, not Baldwin, Hawkins is probably going to have a really good game as well because of Gordon being back. I don't think I saw him on anyone's roster, though. All right, then Harvin, Buffalo. He had that big game at first. Then I don't think he's done much after. I actually haven't really been watching him. What did he do here? He had the...
He's been doing all right.
Was this 13 with the Jets?
Yeah.
Okay, so he had 13 the first, then he had 20. Okay. So he had a really bad game last week versus...
Well, 8's not bad.
Oh, 2 weeks ago, Pittsburgh.
8's not bad.
Yeah, true. 8's not bad for people like you guys. 8's really good, guys.
No, it's not terrible. It's not bad. It's just...
I can see Harvin. I haven't seen enough of him at all. Really. I haven't seen anything that he's been doing, but he's been playing well. Versus Vincent Jackson in Chicago. Their defense is bad. They've been slinging the ball a ton. I like McNown to have a big game going back to Chicago.
Who?
McNown.
McNown.
McNabb.
McVerb.
But that's tough. I haven't seen. I'm gonna go with Vincent Jackson just because I think he's a bigger play guy, and I haven't seen really Harvin play at all.
Yeah, I'm going back to the weather in that game. I don't know.
Oh right.
I mean, people if they're shutting the game down, I just don't see how the air game is going to be that great there. So,
how much is it gonna suck if they
stop it?
If they postpone the game,
I'm gonna fucking.
And you're losing but have someone playing, or you're winning and someone else has someone playing.
I'm gonna come here and throw this computer at Kerry's face.
Okay. Take that.
Because of that, I'm gonna, I guess, go Vincent Jackson. I do think Harvin's cool.
I like that guy
for being over there and doing all right the last few weeks. But Vincent Jackson and the weather only this with Harvin. So, Jax.
Then we have Trent Richardson, who has laughably been projected to get 14.5 points. He still gets the ball when Bradshaw's there. He has 14 carries a game and averages 2 yards.
Yeah.
He's going to have 20 carries a game and average 2 yards. He sucks. I think it is so pathetic. I know it's Jacksonville. He's terrible. Trust me.
The only thing I could say about this guy is I think he's better in the passing game than he is in the straight running game. And if they involve him in the passing game, maybe it's better. But I think the second string running back is also decent at the passing game. So they may actually use Richardson in the same exact way they're doing now, which is too much from what they should be using him. Bradshaw's been doing well this year, but I'm fucking heated all year because there's no reason why Richardson should be getting as many touches as he did.
If I was an Indy fan, I would try to find out where Trent Richardson lived and run him down with a car. He is. Yep. Hurting one of the best offenses in the NFL.
So we just ripped apart T-Rich. So Lynch, no doubt.
Yep. I know it's
Yahoo
Arizona's
has them
defense
almost
is really
even
good.
here. Yahoo has them almost even. I don't get that.
Lynch scored like 40,000 points last week. Then Chris Ivory,
Hold
another.
on, quick question. Where is Lynch compared to Bell?
I don't know the total points. Did you look? I think Bell. So Bell, it was really close. Then Bell pulled away a little bit, but then Lynch scored like a gajillion points.
So they're about even now,
yeah.
but Bell's going on his bye.
Right, but then Bell had a really good game too.
Yeah, there's a lot of points last
but
week.
just not as many touchdowns. Lynch was fucking out of control. We'll check it out. Ivory, same deal. Bad team, good defense, bad weather versus Sproles, high upside. They, in all likelihood, will both end up with about 7 as projected, but Sproles could have 40. There's no way Ivory's having 40, so I go with Sproles.
Yeah, I think, actually, yeah, the numbers are probably good. 7-7. I think, let's say 6 is the floor for these guys. I think 15 is the ceiling for Ivory, and I think 30 is it for Sproles. So whether 30 actually ever happens, I don't know. But you can see Sproles getting 30. You can't see Ivory getting 30.
Right. Then we got Walker, who everyone's been really high on, but he was dinged up last week. I've never been particularly high on him versus Jason Witten. He's been playing a little bit better. Let me look at some of these numbers here with this guy.
I haven't played
15, 9, 11. I mean, hey, if he does double digits, that's really good, I think, for tight ends like him. And Delaney's only had, he started really well, and then since then he's had 2 above-average games. So I'm going with Witten. It's a big game.
Yeah, I'm going Witten here too. He's always been part of Romo's game. I know he's got 2 with Williams and Bryant are clearly the number 1 and number 2 options, but Witten has always been involved in the game, and he's been playing well the last few weeks. Delaney Walker, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I just don't think that that offense really goes through a tight end and doesn't throw as much as they do in Dallas.
All right, then we have DeAndre Hopkins, who I like. He's the number 2 down in Houston. Mallett's been slinging the ball a lot. If any of you guys watch fantasy football live on the NFL Network, there's that Asian dude who's got like the most Asian, the squintiest eyes I've ever seen. It's crazy. I don't understand.
He's the most Asian guy
on
the planet.
His eyes are so squinty, like it's beyond a stereotype. It's messed up.
He's worse than
he's
worse than Norton Grove Lancers when he smokes weed.
I don't know about that.
He's sleeping at that point.
Yeah, that's true. But this guy's got some bet that DeAndre Hopkins is going to have 1,100 yards, or he's going to like do the whole show in high heels or something. And he's on pace for like 1,220 something yards right now. He's playing great. Now he's got a gunslinger thrown into him. So I like him versus Lamar Miller, who's the number 1 running back. A pretty solid defense, but they're a much better pass defense than they are a run defense. But a lot of people have to pass because Denver scores so many points.
Yeah,
so a bit of a wash. I like Hopkins because I think that Andre Johnson's going to have a good game, but he's going to get more attention, and Hopkins is going to continue to play well. Man, he's been playing really well.
So Hopkins is playing well, and I don't think it's going to change dramatically. Well is I think where his projected points are anywhere from 10 to 14 points is good. Lamar Miller, for me, running backs traditionally get you just more points. They just touch the ball more.
Yeah, I normally like to put a running back. I mean, a running back in the flex if I can.
But and I think I'm going to go Lamar Miller here simply because he's a running back. I know they're playing against Denver. I know they're going to be behind. Well, you would think they would be behind. You would have thought that last week too. But I guess I'm going to go Lamar Miller here just because he's going to be more involved in the everyday down.
All right, then we got Hauschka versus Vinatieri. Hauschka's pretty solid. He's at home versus a good defense, so maybe they'll stop him in the red zone. The weather in Seattle actually typically is pretty rainy and slightly windy this time of year, but actually I've been talking, all my employees are in Seattle, and they're like, it's unseasonably beautiful here. So it's potentially a really good game for him, but Vinatieri's at home versus a terrible defense and indoors with an awesome offense, so I like Vinatieri.
Great.
Then we have Detroit versus New England. I think that's a bad play. They're a great defense. But New England's going to put up points. So I don't particularly like that one. And we don't make a lot of bad plays. There won't be huge turnovers. And then Green Bay and Minnesota. Green Bay's defense has been playing excellent. Matthews is back, and he's been leading that whole team. I like Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks have been pretty legit for Green Bay. Is that when Matthews came back?
No, I don't mean that he was out. I mean, he's just been playing like Clay Matthews plays. He's been like leading that defense, doing his flexes and shit, running around like crazy.
Yeah, so The momentum certainly with Green Bay's defense, and it's easy when they're up by 50 points. They just got to worry about the pass.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Green Bay here as well. Detroit. I mean, it's versus New England. New England always finds a way. I'm going Green Bay. Green Bay is here as well. What do they have from the bench, just real quick?
Philly's defense also a pretty good option. Two really good options for Tam at defense this week.
Kicker. I don't think you can go wrong with Bailey here too.
Tannehill would be a good option, but you got Breach. You got to play him. Pierre Garçon to be benched.
Nah, he's been doing shit all year. I don't mind the bench. Ruben Randall. No, I like your wide receivers better. Djax. I get it. Well, I guess for me, for me, this is a landslide. Norton Grove Lances. I think
Kevin's
Belichick,
getting blowed out.
You might have the worst team in the entire league here. I know you trade away Rodgers, but I'm not even sure that would do anything to make this team. I mean, it would certainly make it better, but
just don't draft during another draft.
Yeah, one
Don't
thing at
do
a
that.
time. One thing at a time.
You
Just
better
like
win
life.
your other money league,
True.
or at least be respectable in it. If you're in the bottom of both, I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
But
you would have drafted two things at the same time.
Yeah.
Hope you didn't fuck yourself on that one. But appreciate you doing it for our league.
Yeah, you're a good guy. Unlike Faye, who still hasn't paid.
He still hasn't paid?
And he hasn't responded to any of my texts. Awful. College roommates.
Well, and he came to his
Came to the wedding
wedding. Well,
empty-handed. I should have talked this much shit on his video.
this is not the quality type of people that we were looking for.
That's all right. We'll replace him next year. All right. Tam and a landslide. Talk to you guys next week. Tam, we'll call you. You'll be the next guy.